Two interesting stories. The internet is playing a huge role in what's going on with these riots on a global basis. I'll put some links. One of them is this one girl who started putting up YouTube videos and on Facebook, and I guess there was, I think she said, 4 people that had burned themselves alive to try and gain some rights, and then a bunch of people were saying, oh, these 4 people were just psychopaths. And it's like, let's get the definition of a psychopath correctly. Usually a psychopath does harm to somebody else, not typically themselves. That's more of the true definition of a psychopath. Would they be mentally ill to do damage to themselves? Yeah. But the mental illness is the result of it's actually not a mental illness, more of a reaction caused by a mental illness. So there's mental illness within the government systems that create the reaction that we would tend to say it's mentally ill, but it's not. It's the reaction of a mental illness type behavior, which is your government system. Kind of look at who's in connection, who are the friends with this type of government, and usually your friends have the same mindset, and kind of see which country is really doing something right these days. And you'll find that most governments are mentally ill, but they're going to their view, the government, Hillary Clinton specifically, and her husband, and Warren Buffett, and Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey, Obama. I mean, the list is really long of these big, huge leaders that think they know the answers to everything, so that when your behavior isn't exactly acceptable from their point of view, they will label you as being the one that's mentally ill, but it's actually, the leaders that have the power, that have the money, that have their, I know it's right, let me influence my world with all my friggin' money to push this outcome up. Now, ironically, I'll put another link too. There's another report on this guy that was a top-level executive of Google and Facebook that ended up in jail for 12 days, who's saying, I'm not a hero. This is somebody who could possibly be a hero, and this would be, the corporate world that, this guy is describing. Yeah, some of us have big houses and everything, but I didn't want anything, and it's like, okay, see, some people that have a lot of money don't see their connections to how they are creating a lot of hardship for a lot of people. And this is like, this guy is stuck in between. He sort of sees one side and he sort of sees the other side, but he doesn't see how he's guilty in that game. First of all, if he has more money than anybody else, he's directly responsible for that, but he can't see the chain reaction of where his stuff comes from. Google, Facebook, a lot of harmful things being done within those organizations. That is, suppressing an awful lot of information while he's protesting, trying to get a lot of information out there. Kind of insane thing going on. That I just kind of wanted to point out, that little observation. Now, I'm also having this conversation on one of my posts, a video I posted today, where this guy is trying to have this argument with me, which I don't think is an argument. It's two opposing different points of view. That here's this guy judging that our world is really, really violent, and his words, it started off with torture, and this guy was in supporting of torture, that we need to torture people to get truth. And then I kind of went to his channel, and he believes in a Bible, and it's like, that's where the mindset came from, is because if you listen to my video, I really see a lot of things wrong within our Bibles. I love, love, love God. I just think some behaviors in there are explanation to why our world is so violent. kind of teaches you, kind of brainwashes you to be violent. So it wasn't really all that surprising. So I kind of included it in the conversation, because if I see Bibles are what causes you to think we need to torture people, I gotta kind of bring it up. So then he's bringing up all of these scenarios of, you know, what if somebody did all of these really, really, really bad things? You know, what would you do? And it's like, yeah, that's why people do violent things, is because somebody did something violent to them that made them react and did something violent back, and then you say as soon as they do something violent to you, you're going to be violent back. It's like a friggin' chain reaction. Thing one does something violent to thing two. You don't see thing one doing anything violent to thing two, so thing two does something violent to thing three. Thing three doesn't see what, you know, thing two experienced with thing one, so, but he's rageful and everything, so now thing three is doing something to, you know, violent to thing four. Thing four doesn't see what happened, you know, with thing one, thing two, and thing three, and just reacting violently, and now thing four is going to be violent to thing five. Can you see that little chain reaction? That eventually somebody's got to say, hey, what you so angry about? Oh, yeah, something really horrible happened. I understand. It's really wrong. I agree with you. I support. Whatever happened to you is really, really wrong. If you think what happened to you was so wrong, then why are you doing that to somebody else? You know, like, at some point in time, you got to stop and look in the mirror and say, you know, the very things that you are complaining about is the very thing that you're doing to other people. Maybe you should stop. You know, I'm just saying, you know, that at some point in time, somebody's got to be the one to say, we need to shift our direction. And then the guy kind of asked me if I would protest the same as what's going on with Egypt. And it's like, and I'm seeing a couple other people's videos that say we need to be brave and we need to fight and we need to protest. And no, I totally disagree with that. And that's why I've come up with something that I think works a hell of a lot better, a hell of a lot more effective, but everybody seems to want to take the violent way out. But there is a much bigger, a much stronger protest that has more energy, that could affect the globe a hell of a lot faster, provide you with every single thing you need, but nobody wants that peaceful direction. So, and I'm not even going to bring that up in this tape, because you know what, I've been taping it and saying it for an awful long time, but there is a way to connect, because that's one thing that we all have to do, is there's got to be some kind of plan. These are the when I say, okay, how can we solve this in a peaceful way? First of all, we need to join everybody on the planet in on a plan. So it's got to be something that everybody on the planet can be involved in. Okay, check. Did that one. Okay, it also has to have the power to transform everybody on the planet without anybody even noticing it's being transformed. It's sort of like if we hit the planet like a friggin' virus where nobody sees it coming, they don't, you know, they can't stop it, and the ones that are making the protest are the ones that know what's going on, but the other ones that don't even know they're doing something wrong, if they join in on that protest, they'll be sucked into the virus of change and won't even see it coming. Non-violent way of doing it. So, and you want something. So if this ends up getting everybody gets what everybody wants, there are no losers. So check, check, check. Kind of come up with a plan, but nobody's ready for that plan. Yeah, I would do something completely different than protesting like they do. Are they coming together and being united? Yes, yes, yes. I love that idea. But that doesn't mean that there isn't a nonviolent way. We just haven't even asked the question, in how many ways can we do this nonviolently that has more power, a bigger voice, creates change a hell of a lot faster, and actually gets us everything we want. I don't see anybody asking those questions, so I don't see anybody coming up with that answer. But I've asked those questions, and guess what? The universe responded to me. But I don't see anybody wanting that. I see everybody is stuck in the, somebody did something violent to me, so I got to do something violent back. And we're making change with the violence within ourselves, and the energy of violence within ourselves because somebody just did something wrong. We're going to sit there and have these peaceful demonstrations and ask why it's violent. You know, why we're getting killed while we're having a peaceful, you know, like, you're not seeing that you're creating the violence because it's coming from within. Justified. I mean, life is hell. You know, I've been there, done that. I understand having a knee-jerk, negative, violent reaction back. I ain't saying that I don't understand. I'm just saying that I think there is a different way. And when you are ready for that change, it will show up. Which is why I'm not even going to bother mentioning it, because I don't even hear anybody even asking that question. But that's where we got to go, is, you know, as soon as there's more than enough people that are saying, oh, what's that peaceful demonstration that can hit us like a virus, include everybody, and actually get us all what we want and get it done fast? When I see more than enough people sort of asking that question, I'll let it out. But right now, nobody's interested. We're just interested in violence and killing and torturing, and then say the rest of the world is evil and angry, and we need to destroy the whole friggin' planet, and not understand why we're doing it to ourselves. Peace out.